Hello, it's Wendy. Welcome back to my channel. So guess what? We're going to do something a little bit different today, everyone. I'm going to show you where I am at in my investing journey and talk about early retirement, my gap year that I'm going to be taking here, and what I've got going on in savings and the whole process of everything. And this is just me talking about where I'm at with the process. This is not investment advice. I am not a financial advisor. Just need to throw that disclaimer out there. Now, I've learned to do a lot of investing from research because this is not something that I've done for most of my adult life, unfortunately. Yes, I got started very late in the game. I started doing this, I think it was like early 2022. And do I have regrets over that? Yes, and I'm trying to get past having regrets over things in my life because it's something that I struggle with. I'm human. So grab something to drink, coffee, which is what I have, tea, whatever suits your fancy. And let's go over this because I think this is important to share so everybody can see from just a normal working class person such as myself that is in their mid-50s and is wanting to retire a bit earlier and doesn't have millions of dollars invested. How can a person go about doing this? But this is just, like I said, my personal journey and what I'm doing. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just where I'm at. So let's talk about the dividend tracker here. So this spreadsheet, I actually purchased this along with an ebook on dividend investing from somebody that I follow on YouTube, and I will link their video, their channel in the description box below. So if you want to go and check them out, you can. And I just get some really good insight from that channel. There's a couple of other ones that I watch as well. One that is really good. He does a lot of option stuff, which I would love to learn how to do that. And some of you might do that. Some of you might not even know what that is. I'm not that well versed in it, but his channel is really good, and it's called The Average Joe Investor. So there's another one that you can check out if you're interested. I'll put that in the description box below as well. So let's go on over here to this tab. Now I just took the master sheet of this document that I purchased from this person. And yes, I could have come up with this all on my own. I get that, but I really wanted the ebook, and then he threw this in for free. So I said, well, what the hell, just use it. And it's got formulas in there and all of that stuff. And I just put it into a Google sheet because I don't have Excel on my computer. So it's actually an Excel document. You can put it into Google if you don't have Excel. So I'm going to go to this dividend tracker tab here and talk about all these different things that are going on in here. And this, like I said, this was a pre-built sheet. The only thing I added on this sheet here was a column for when is the dividend paid, and then the total dollar amount invested for each of these items. So on the left, I have the ticker symbol. This will just show you what I am invested in, and then the company name is here. So you can see that I have DGRO, I have the FXAIX, I have JEPI, I have JEPQ, I have NRG, I have QQQY, SCHD, I have SoFi. That is the only one that does not pay out dividends. I have SVOL, and then I have SPYI. Some of these are quarterly, which is indicated with a Q and in yellow, and then others are monthly dividend paying ETFs and that sort of thing. And then I just put the company name here, so if anybody wants to see what that is, they know what that is. And then these are the number of shares I have for each one of these. Now, again, this might not be the perfect way to invest. This is just what I'm doing based off of where I'm at in the process. I've got safer investments here like the Fidelity 500 and the SCHD Schwab US Dividend Equity. And then I've got more of the volatile. So for example, QQQY, that one is a little wild. It does have a super high dividend yield on it. And then I also have things like SVOL and SPYI, but they're actually doing really, really good. And what I do with my dividends is I reinvest them all the time. I've not taken any of those dividends. And then, of course, I put more money into investing. So when I started in 2022, I just put in, $1,000, this week, and then the next week I put in 500. And I was just basically pulling money out of my savings account and then I was plopping it in. And as I got more comfortable and learned more and did more research on some of the things I wanted to invest in, and then I started dumping more money into it. So where I'm at right now is 61,719.51, and that is across 3 trading platforms. So the majority of everything that I have here is in Fidelity. I really like their platform. Super easy to use, especially if you are a beginner. It's just super functional. I also have, I have an individual account in there, and then I do have a Roth IRA, which is of course your after tax. And then I have Webull. So that's just an app on my phone. And I like Webull as well. I think that one's pretty easy. And that one I'm actually doing $25 every day, of course, on trading days. And that is going into SCHD. So that's buying me almost 1 share every single week, because I think it's at like 77. Yeah, that's the last closing price, it looks like right here that I have. That might not be updated as of last Friday, but 77.27. So yeah, almost 1 share a week. And then I just update my number of shares on everything here, because every time those dividends get reinvested, what does it do? When it allows you get to a certain amount, you can buy another share of that stock. And the cool thing about Webull is you can do fractional shares and you can do it daily. So everything is set to drip, which is just reinvesting. And then I also have some QQQY sitting in Fidelity, but I also have it sitting in SoFi. And that is where I have the majority of my savings in a high yield savings account. And then I just recently opened up Wealthfront because theirs is a little bit higher. So I don't like to keep my money all in one place. Yes, I do have a pretty high cash balance in savings right now, but I'm doing that for a couple of different reasons. I'm not throwing all of it into investing. And of course, if you follow my channel, you know that I'm working on my non-lucrative visa for Spain, which means that I won't be working at least for a year. So I'm going to take a gap year, and I'm also planning on retiring early. So right now what I'm doing is, and I've been doing this for quite a while, I take half my paycheck every 2 weeks. I get paid bi-weekly 2 weeks. And I take half of that and I put that into my savings account. And then I also take money and put it into investing. So I just keep going with this. And you can see where I'm at with things here, that I'm almost at, well, actually, here I am at 251.96872 shares of SCHD right now. And they did, what is it called? Reconstitution, is that what it's called? They did that, I think, back in March. A lot of people weren't happy about that. I don't know enough about it. Don't have the time to do it. I'm not going to learn it like these hardcore investors do. I just have enough knowledge of it to make me dangerous. And I wasn't going to sell out of it just because they did that and they made some changes. But the interesting thing is the changes that they made actually benefited us because they upped their dividend yield. It was a pretty good jump. And so I had a pretty good payout on that. So let's talk about that so you guys can see where I'm at on this. And of course, there's formulas in here. I have the average cost per share, last closing price, and the dividend yield, and I try to keep these as updated as possible. Of course, those fluctuate with when they're going to report and do their distributions. And then I have my estimated annual income and then estimated monthly. So even though the ones that are Q are quarterly because the formula is breaking it out right here by 12, this would be like estimated monthly income. And so now I'm going to go over here because I just created this cool little sheet just to kind of track where I'm at with everything. So again, I put the ticker symbol over here in the first column. And then I indicated, is it monthly or is it quarterly, the name of it, and then each month. And then I'm just plugging in these numbers. So for example, SCHD is quarterly, so that paid out in March, and then it paid out in July 1st is when it did that. So it kind of threw me off because it's supposed to be June, but because of, I think, how the month ended and all of the other stuff, it just paid out on July 1st. But as you can see here, the dividend was $204.90, and that is from just under a $20,000 portfolio for that. And what else do I have here? QQQY, that was a pretty good payout. It was down a little bit from June, but still pretty good. Again, I'm older, so I'm not going to have all conservative investments here, but I'm not going to go crazy and put everything into super high volatile investments because I don't want to lose my ass on everything. And again, is this the right mix? I don't know, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm doing pretty good for having a portfolio of just over $60,000. You can see in the month of June, excuse me, $504.19. Where I'm at for July right now is $432.81, and that is not including SVOL and SPYI. Those have not paid out yet. Those get paid out towards the end of the month. So I'm going to be over $600. I'm pretty sure, for the month of July. Not too shabby. And then, of course, with my high yield savings account and my over 6 figures in my savings account right now, I think the interest that was paid out the end of June was $500. So again, not touching that stuff. Now, when I take my gap year, yes, I am going to be dipping into my savings account, but the plan, of course, is to continue what I have been doing, which is to try and be as frugal and careful with my money as I can. I don't need some huge, Taj Mahal looking apartment when I go to Spain. I don't need 3 bedrooms. I don't need 2 bathrooms. It's just me and my 2 cats. I just need a comfortable, warm, cozy, safe place to sleep. It doesn't have to be fancy, and it's going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, in the city center area, because I'm not going to have a vehicle, so that way I can walk wherever I need to go. If I need transportation, there's transportation options. Obviously, it's Spain. And then that's going to, of course, take my expenses down because it's not that expensive to live there versus here in the United States, unless you're living in a bigger city like Madrid, for example, where the rental prices are pretty high and you're not sharing, with anybody, because I'm not going to roommate with anybody. I'm just going to be living by myself with my 2 cats. But again, I'm going to be super careful with my money and my expenditures and things like that, so I don't dip into my savings that much. But what I want to do is, like I said, have at least a gap year where I'm not working for a company, because I've been working since I was 14 years old. I'm 55 right now, and I just need a break. I just want to go have some fun and experience a new culture and different, country, and meet people and learn language and take up painting again and just have some fun and read the stacks of books that I have in my list that I haven't gotten to yet. and I just want to do all that stuff. So that's just my path of what I'm doing. And some of you might say, well, how the hell are you going to have early retirement if you dip into your savings account? Again, I'm just going to do this gap year for 1 year. And then I'm going to go back to doing something else. And of course, that's not going to be hard for me because of my background. I'm an accountant and I do all of it. So that's going to be, something that I'm going to decide down the road. Do I want to do that? Do I want to go back into that? Do I want to do something else? Where do I want to go after Spain? Do I want to stay in Spain? Who knows? I don't have the answer to that question yet. So it's just going to depend on a lot of different factors. But I wanted to share with you where I'm at in my journey to kind of give you an idea that you don't have to be rich to invest. Yes, I make good money for what I do, but remember, I've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing accounting and finance for like 28 years. And so, could I be a lot further along? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't learn how to do any of this stuff till later in life, and I didn't take the time to learn it and try it and stop spending my money stupidly on all materialistic crap that a person does not need. And that, of course, that's just me. I figured that out. That's my personal opinion on that. If you like to buy stuff, that's cool. I was the same way. And then I woke up one day and said, what the hell am I doing? This isn't getting me anywhere. Buying crap that I don't need and not getting the experiences in my life that I want to feel like I have this wonderfully lived life and I've been on all these adventures, because that's what life is. And life is super short and we don't want to waste it. And I'm not going to waste it anymore. I did enough of that. So there you go. This is, like I said, just an overview of here's where I'm at, the basics of what I'm doing on the investing side. Again, I am not an investment expert, and of course, I'm not a financial advisor. Do I know a lot about money because I'm an accountant? Of course I do. That doesn't mean I'm going to be a whiz at investing. That's a completely different ballgame. But I've learned a lot, and I may be doing things right, I may be doing things wrong, but my, portfolio, of course, is looking pretty good right now. And most of these aren't losing money every single month either. The only one that seems to do that is QQQY. So I'll probably keep holding on to that, but I will reevaluate that one in a few months just to kind of see if it's going to be worth it to keep it, or if I should get into, something else, like maybe more of a tech thing or another one. But I prefer the dividend options, just because you just keep wash, rinse, repeat. Just drip it, reinvest it, and just watch it grow. And of course, keep contributing to it as much as you possibly can, and see where it goes from there. But do your own research on all of this stuff and figure out, what your risk level is, where you're at, what's your age, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, all of that stuff. But that's basically how I'm going to make early retirement happen. I mean, I'm not that far off. Oh, I hate to say that, from 62. And it seems like it, right? 7 years. Ooh, that's a long time, but really it's not. I don't know what the hell happened to the last 20 years of my life. It's just zipped by so fast. And that's what happens, right? When we get caught in this cycle of wash, rinse, repeat, work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep. I mean, it's just non-stop. And it is what it is. And this country has a lot of things backwards with our, live to work, work to live philosophy on things. And it's sad. And a lot of us get stuck in that cycle because we have no choice. We want to keep a roof over our head, or we support ourselves like I do. I'm a one income family here. I don't have somebody else to, split the bills with halfway, down the middle. And then, oh, that makes it easier for you to save more money. There's a lot of us out there that are single, men, women, it doesn't matter. And so you have to manage and handle and pay for everything yourself. And that makes it a little bit more difficult. That doesn't mean go out and get somebody else so you can split all that stuff. I mean, if that's not what you want to do, that's not what I want to do. And, it is what it is. You just do it and you run with it and figure out what your goal is and what your focus is and hone in on that and do it. You don't need $1 million to retire. And all these financial advisors that people pay all this money to and all these other things, and they tell them, well, you need to have 1 million, you need to have 2 million. That's bullshit. Unless you're like blowing through thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars every single year, that doesn't even make any sense. If you live a comfortable but more simplistic, frugal lifestyle and you're not blowing it on stupid stuff like brand new cars and all this other crap, whatever, then and if you do use the 4% rule, you basically do that math where you take what you need to live off of times 25, and that will tell you, what you need to have saved up. And of course, I'm not at that number yet to be able to do that, but I will get there, even with taking a gap year. Okay? I'm not worried about it. And life is too short. And if I sit here and piss around and think about it and don't do anything, guess what? Another year is going to go by and I'll still be working at a job that I don't want to do anymore. And I will not have had any other experiences. So there you go. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and let's have some further conversations about this. Let me know, what are you guys doing? Are you guys investing? If so, how's it going for you? What else is going on? Anybody else thinking about changing up their life? Moving overseas? Selling their house? Anything? Let's have some conversations about this, you guys. All right, thank you so much for watching, and take care. We'll talk soon. Bye.